So we're just about here. I saw some signs as soon as we turned onto Ollie Road that said that recreational use of your ATV out here on the public road is prohibited, and they do enforce it. So if you come down here with your ATV, don't plan on riding up and down the road like you can do in some places. Apparently they don't look upon that too kindly down here, but we're getting ready to pull into the off-road park here. And from our house, this was not that bad of a trip, a little less than 2 hours compared to, say, 4 hours when we go down to the land between the lakes. So much more refreshing trip for us, for one thing. We're gonna pull in here. I see the main office over there from here. Actually a good amount of traffic out here on this little road today, but this property is adjacent to the Mammoth Cave National Park, so that's kind of cool. I mean, if you were coming from a long way away, you could always make a week of it, ride for a couple of days, then go over to Mammoth Cave, check out the cave system and all that.
Take the next right.
Here we are. I think we spent more time on the little 2-lane roads than we did the interstate.
In 800 feet, your destination will be on the right.
So I think the last time we were down here was about 5 years ago, and they had that same old body of the XJ sitting out here back then. Some things never change. Well, we'll get checked in here, find a camping spot, and then we'll make another video. The Ram did a great job. Super happy with the performance of the Ram and the Hemi. 8.5 miles to the gallon, but I kind of expected that.
Your destination is on the right.
Talk to you guys later. Man, this is just beautiful. Look at that waterfall. Kentucky. of the many obstacles you'll find here at Blue Holler. And on that side over there, you got some natural rock face to climb if you want to. But just like with most off-road parks, if you come down here when it's not raining, it'll be really dusty. If you come down here when it has been raining, it'll be sloppy. So check the weather forecast for Central Kentucky before you come up here and make sure that you dress accordingly. There's another feature you'll find in the park called the Blue Hole. Down around the Mammoth Cave area, there's a lot of what they call blue holes. This one doesn't seem to have a body of water down there, but I've seen some out in Mammoth Cave Park, especially along the Green River, where there will be a blue hole that actually has water in it. And I think it's called that because the water is so cold that it actually turns blue. We used to get in there when I was a kid and see who could stand to stay in it the longest. If you're gonna bring young kids down here, you're gonna have to make sure they have a little bit of experience. The trails, as you can see, I mean, they're pretty basic trails, and you can navigate them without a whole lot of difficulty, but there's some places where there's some like sandy, silty material down there that's pretty slick, and you know, if your tires start to kind of slip when you're going up a hill, you could go into a barrel roll or something. So just make sure your kids have a little bit of experience, and they'd have a great time out here. But if you bring really young kids out, in the main parking area, there's a huge amount of acreage. So there's plenty of space for young kids to go out and rip around on an ATV or something like that. And like I said, if you all want to hit the trails together as a family, you know, there's all kinds of really nice trails that are out here, kind of like groomed trails, you know, out here that you can all enjoy, just as long as your kids have a little bit of experience. I don't know how deep he's going to try and go, but if he tries to go in the middle of it, there's a high likelihood I'm going to have to try and winch him out, because I think that's pretty nasty. Looks like he's going to try and find a stick so he can test it. The one good thing about it is there's some sand down in that hole, so that may help him. Yeah, not too bad. Now maybe it's one of those situations where once you disturb the bottom and churn it up, then it becomes bad. but right now it's been a while since anybody's been through it, and I think it's got a little bit of a solid base to it. This is what he wanted to do, though. He's been looking forward to this part. They got those new mud tires, and he's been dying to get into a mud hole with them. Well, after a little more deliberation, he decided not to go through the middle. Probably a good idea. Because I don't know if I have enough winch to get him out of that. This is just a really cool rig that they've got sitting down here. It's got 46-inch tires on it. They put Rockwell axles under it. It's a Cummins diesel that they've chopped up a little bit. And obviously they tubed the rear. But I bet you this thing would go anywhere. He's thinking about it. Oh, he had second thoughts again. Probably another good idea. Oh, he's gonna go find a stick and do his stick test. When he does that, the problem is he's only checking how deep the water is. He's not pushing the stick down in there to see how soupy the bottom is. He's getting ready to find out though. Maybe. Yeah. We're back home again, and it's time to do the part that everybody hates, which is cleaning up the machines and getting all the mud off of them. But just for reference, I wanted to show you this. So both of these machines have the same mileage on them. I want you to look at how much brake pad material there is remaining on the Suzuki. See that? Look at that. The brake pads on the Suzuki look almost brand new despite having the same mileage and being ridden on the same trails and the same conditions. So this is the difference between a quality machine and a piece of junk like that Can-Am over there. Yeah, so we're back home again now, and like I said, we just got to get all this stuff cleaned back up again. That's the not fun part of the trip, but we had a really good time. And what I would say about the Blue Holler Off-Road Park is that it's a really fun place. If you've got family, you know, you can go there and you can all enjoy the trails. They've got some trails for everyone. If you're into the hardcore stuff, they've got some obstacles that you can climb and some hills you can climb, and there's a lot of beautiful scenery along the trails. So it was a really fun time. My son says it's his second favorite place that we've been to, and we've been to quite a few off-road parks in different states and different parts of Kentucky. And he said this is the second favorite one of his, so that says a lot about the place. I would prefer to go when it's a little less dusty. It was really dusty when we were down there, so if you can plan a trip, you know, right after it's been raining in South Central Kentucky, it would probably be a little bit more fun. But it was a great place, and I had a really good time. It's big enough that you can enjoy it for a few days, but it's still small enough that you can learn your way around over time. You know, I do wish they would mark the trails a little bit better, and I heard some other people complaining about that too, that they don't really mark and label the trails very well. But you know, that's always something they can fix over time, I guess. But yeah, we had a really good time down at Blue Holler, so if you haven't been there, you need to go check it out. I think you'll have a good time down there too. That's all I got for now, guys. It's getting pretty windy out here. We're going to try and get this machine cleaned up and get it back in the barn, and we'll have some more later on. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you later.